November 11th. I'm Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com. We come with you about 5 to 7 days a week here with our show here on Predictive Modeling. It is brought to you by the Rhythm app. You can now claim your 14-day free trial with Rhythm and create custom sports betting models from the major sports, as you can see there. Really save you a lot of time. If you handicap by yourself on your own. If you don't handicap on your own, you buy the picks, this will not really be for you. But if you handicap on your own, you can save yourself a lot of time. And you can also really pretty much handicap like a sharp, because with the custom sports betting models, you actually load in your factors, and the Rhythm app handles all the grunt work, which saves you a lot of time having to do the math calculations, finding your edges, finding your best bets, loading in the stats, scraping data, and also it also uses most of the U.S. Sports books, and it helps you find a consensus line, helps you find the best line for your best bets when you create your models. And this is really how sharps do it. They all use models. If you want to take it either a step further, you can create multiple models with different factors and see if all 3 or 4 line up, and boom, that would be a big play. You can rate your plays that way. So you always look for the 5 to 25% edges that you have over the market price. Never above, never below. The 3 years worth of data in the system basically recommends that you stay within those parameters. So we'll get more into it as the days proceed here with the Rhythm app, and technically how to set it up and whatnot. We'll talk about that, but really a really good app, and I recommend it to you guys, especially if you have the time to handicap on your own. You're going to save even more time. Personally, I save between 30 minutes and 2 hours a day. All right, let's get to the show here, guys. 5 picks for you here. They're going to be different. We always look for the money line dogs on this show. If we can't find the dogs with the 5-25% edge, then we go and give you a pick. If I gave you a spread on the overnight show, then we give you the total, and vice versa. So let's get underway here. We'll start here with the one here today, 3:30 Eastern time. Utah and Washington going head to head. Well, we see value here in this favorite here. Washington minus the 8 here against the Utah Utes. You know, Washington 4th in total offense, averaging 509 yards a game. And of course, Utah, just issues, I believe, here at the quarterback position. Don't think they can match the scores here with the Huskies. My win probability here at the minus 8, 61.8%. Have a 17.5% edge. Based on my handicapping factors that I programmed into my model, I have Washington minus 11.9. So I've got some value here on Washington here at minus the 8. All right, let's continue on here on predictive modeling. Next one coming up, we got Minnesota and Purdue here, 3:30 Eastern time. We're going to take Minnesota here minus the 1.5, the short favorite. Teams are making big plays here against this Purdue pass defense. Boilermakers really struggle on the ground, quarterback accuracy and with passing efficiency. At home, Purdue's given up 438 yards and 34 points a game. They failed to cover 4 of 5. The Golden Gophers, look at their past 3 games, allowing just 265 yards, 16 points a game. We see the value here on Minnesota minus 1.5. Here's how my handicapping factors figure it out here. Win probability here is 63.1%. We've got a 17.9% edge. Based on my handicapping factors that I put into the app. Remember, Rhythm does not make picks for you. I make the picks based on my handicapping factors. I have it Minnesota minus 4.7. So there's value there on Minnesota minus the 1.5. All right, let's continue on here on predictive modeling. So we've got a dog coming up for you here. Let's go here. Pick 4. Actually, let's see. We get pick 3, pick 4. Pick 3 here. Rice and UTSA. Remember these numbers. The lines you see here is the sharpest book in the world. The line I show on the pick is consensus. So the consensus here has Rice plus 13.5 here against UTSA in this one. And the Roadrunners, and we understand here about their run defense, but we're seeing some improvement here with Rice, 4-5 team. They were competitive there in that game against SMU, dropping 36-31. We know how good SMU's been, right? And I just believe here that their offense will be able to shine here. Frank Harris, not that impressive last week, 13 of 25, averaged just 5.4 yards per pass attempt. And that's the concern I have here with UTSA has been their issues here at quarterback. It's not been a good season for Harris when you look at his efficiency numbers. So we're going to go ahead and take the points here with Rice at plus 13.5. And what we see here in this one is based on my handicapping factors, these are my numbers, okay? I've got a win probability of 56.3%, an edge of 7.4%, and based on my handicapping factors into the modeling, my number says Rice should be 11.6% dog, so we got some value in the number. Rice plus 13.5. All right, let's continue on here on predictive modeling here for Saturday's games. Let's come to game 4. Getting chalky again with this one, Texas and TCU. Based on my modeling, my consensus line has Texas minus 12.5. You can shop and find a better number if you'd like. And again, in this one here, it's just been, again, I've been kind of been down on TCU with the coaching change. I know they went to the championship game last year, but Sonny Dykes in his years with Cal in his Power 5 school, his defenses were really bad. And I think we're starting to see this unravel now for TCU. This was predictable for me. There is quarterback issues here. Chandler Morris will not start here with his knee injury here for TCU. We got a backup quarterback going in here, averaging just 6.8 yards per pass attempt. The issue here with the TCU is they've really had struggle to get points on the board against conference teams. We know all about Texas, how good their offense is. They're going to get Ewers back in the mix here. Ewers on the year, averaging 71% completion rate, 9 yards per pass attempt, good touchdown to interception ratio, 13-3. Again, it's the struggles here with TCU. I've not been impressed with this team. Going into this year, I wasn't. All right, so Texas here at minus 12.5. We've got a win probability of 59.5%. These are based on my numbers, my factors in handicapping into the software. Pretty much the software handles the grunt work, spitting me out these edges and the numbers based on my factors. Okay, so here we go. Win probability here, 59.5%. I've got a 13.6% edge because my numbers say Texas minus 15.8. All right, let's continue on here on predictive modeling here for action here on Saturday. Hey, shout out to Geraldo in the chat. Appreciate your contributions. All right, let's continue on predictive modeling. All right, we're going to get you an underdog here. Duke and North Carolina. We got North Carolina big favorites in this one, although the number has been coming down a bit, but we like Duke here at plus the 13. Actually, Duke here, we're going to change this here. I'm sorry, I messed that one up. This one's supposed to be Duke money line here, so let's fix this here. It's not going to be Duke here on the plus 13 number. It's going to be Duke plus. Let me show what my numbers showed here. My consensus was plus 376 here. So yeah, we're going to go Duke here, money line plus 376. This was our other big dog of the day, plus 376. Yeah, it was the money. It's the money line here on Duke here. This is where the value is in the game. Plus 376. You can do your line shopping, find the best numbers out there. You can find as high as plus 392 in this one. So this is pretty much the big dog of the day here based on my modeling. As you know, I don't give money lines out on the overnight shows. Right? We'll give them out here on predictive modeling. That's what we're looking for. This is the juicy one here. Duke, strong rushing attack. They're going to really lean on this running game today. They're averaging 5.2 yards a game. They're holding ACC teams just 18 points a game. And the issue here is with North Carolina's defense, right? They're giving up 453 yards a game over their past 3. Let's stay on the ground here with Duke here at the money line price plus 376. Guys, do your line shopping, get the best numbers. The edges will be even better if you can find a better number like you see at the sharpest book in the world, plus 392 on Duke. So keep an eye on those money lines, money line spreads. Okay, here we go. Win probability, it's not going to be high, especially on these money line dogs. Big dogs are not going to be as high on the win probabilities, but it works out mathematically here because we're effectively merging here sports with mathematics, right? That's what we're doing here. All right, so we got Duke plus 376. We've got a win probability of 26.1%, an edge here of 24.2%. So you can see the math working in our favor here. So based on my numbers, based on my modeling, we have North Carolina 29.2, Duke 21.7. So North Carolina here about a 7.5 point favorite. 7.5 point favorite. If you're getting 7.5 points, your value here should be less than, you're getting plus 376. That's pretty good value there, especially a conference game here. So we're going Duke here at plus the 376. All right, here on Predictive Modeling. All right, we got your games for you guys. Let's go ahead and let's recap the games from today's show here on Predictive Modeling. Shout out to Geraldo out there. We got started here with Washington -8 here against Utah. Then we came in with Minnesota -1.5 here against Purdue. And we've got Rice plus 13.5 against UTSA. We came in here with Texas -12.5 here against TCU. And we came in with Duke the money line plus 376 here against North Carolina. All right, that was Predictive Modeling. We try to find dogs, but again, based on my models, my highest edge rates came in with these favorites and the dogs there. So we had a couple dogs for you here, but that big money line dog. All right, there you go here on Predictive Modeling. Hope to be back again tomorrow. We're always here Monday through Friday with the show. Of course, we are brought to you by the Rhythm app. Create custom sports betting models with Rhythm. Bet like a pro. This is what the Sharps do. This is kind of pretty much like Sharp training, teaching newbies out there, or folks who handicap on their own, really how to be a sharp handicapper. And really, when you create custom sports betting models and you go in there and create your factors, you can see 3 years worth of data and see how well that model works, and you keep tweaking. You can find a model that's 57, 59%. Boom, there you go. You're on your way to profit here in sports betting. So that's how you do it. And then you take it to the next level by creating another model, 3 models, and basically create different handicapping factors in those models. And if you run them per game, if you line up with all three on the same game, that's going to be a really good play for you guys. So just kind of giving you some tips on how to use this software to better your handicapping skills. If you don't handicap, you buy picks, this won't be for you. But if you handicap on your own, you're looking to save time. Like I said, this saves about 30 minutes to 2 hours of my time a day. And I'm also able to handicap the entire board because my handicapping factors are applied to every game on the board. If there's a line on the game, it's being handicapped using my handicapping factors. It's just the Rhythm app is automating the process where I don't have to spend the time spend the time going in there and I do research the games as I do, but there's less mathematic calculations I have to figure out the math here, right? When I'm figuring out these edges and the money lines and how it matches up, the Rhythm app's doing that for me. They're scraping the lines. They're grading them. They're showing me the performances of my model. See, that's what I'm telling you. When you start handicapping on your own, you can see the time it saves and how efficient you are now in your handicapping. That's really what it comes down to being a sharp. The sharp Billy Walters models, you talk to any sharp out there who creates their own numbers are modeling, okay, because they see the entire board. That's what they're doing. And really, to be honest with you, it's not how much you bet a game, it's how well your model works. That's what comes down to being a sharp. Okay, so don't, I'm starting to I'm really pulling the curtain behind this industry right now. I know there's some folks out there that are saying, man, you're showing too much of the industry secrets. Keep this to yourself. No, why should I? I want to try to help people out there, help them become better models, and help them be more of an independent handicapper, where we're kind of just sharing notes here, which is good because so I tune into shows. Why you should tune into shows like this, because we're comparing notes and comparing our knowledge. When it comes down to it, it's always best, as Mindy always puts it, you guys handicap yourself and let's create a consensus. See if you line up with our models, and then that even makes it even stronger for you. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. I'm pulling the curtain. I know in this industry, I'm showing you all these really advanced tools and things that no one talks about in the industry because everybody's so secretive. They want to keep it to themselves. But I'm really telling you really what it comes down to. What the sharps do, they create models, and it really doesn't matter what the sharps are on. Every sharp has a different factor in their models, and basically it's nothing more. When you look at line moves, you're basically looking at consensus between the sharps. How many more sharps on one side versus the other sharps? Although there may be some biases that certain books have. If they really, really know a long-term winning player in their system, they may move up for that. But it's really what it comes down to is just if you want to make money in this, and if you want to make money, you got to have modeling to help you out, and you have to be very efficient in your handicapping, because listen, our minds aren't always working 100%, right? So if you're missing factors, if you're trying to handicap it yourself, you're going to make mistakes. Well, basically, Rhythm takes away those mistakes. As long as you program your factors, the software is going to make sure those factors are used in the handicap of every game on the board. And that's what I'm telling you when I talk about efficiency. All right, that's going to do it, guys. Thanks for everybody for joining me on this show. And I know it's a little bit of what I call sharp training thrown into this segment, which I kind of like because I think a lot of people need that. And there's a lot of folks out there just kind of shooting from the hip, watching games and not really using stats. And now we're kind of taken to the next level where we can efficiently use the stats. All right, that's going to do it for our show today, guys. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Predictive Modeling. We'll talk to you guys soon.